Welcome in, guys. Episode 16, Chillin For Our Lives. Today, we have a very, very special guest. His name is Mr. ImStallion. Enjoy the show. All right, today, guys, we have a very special guest. He has his own community. He's the head over at Hype Unit, the head of content, and he's known for his party and dancing personality. We have Mr. Stally in the house. What's up, brother?
Yo, what's up, man? Thank you so much for inviting me on the show today. I appreciate it.
Of course, brother. How have you been? What's been up lately with you?
It's been crazy, dude. This year has taken off a lot more than I thought it would. Working harder than ever. Got all my goals and targets and things that I've planned out that I want to achieve this year. And, you know, just working every day as it comes and just making sure that I get the most productivity out of every day to really push myself as much as I can do this year.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I know you have your Discord, you have Hype Unit, you got your own content, you know, you got streaming, all these platforms to balance, all these relationships with people. Like, how do you balance the time? How do you prioritize? Like, what goes into that?
Sometimes it can be almost impossible, especially when everything kind of comes up together, let's say. But that being said, if you time manage effectively and you use proper schedule management, you can get things done properly. So, for example, for today, Tuesdays, for example, is normally my day off, which I like to use with inverted commas because it's my behind the scenes day, as I like to call it, where all of my work and catch up stuff all gets kind of thrown into today because it's the day where I can catch up with stuff. On other days, I kind of focus on content and pushing stuff out there and managing Discord and whatnot. But today is the core day where I really get to catch up on stuff, make sure that people are okay, make sure that I'm all up to date with like hype stuff, my SSC stuff, and that I'm just improving the channel on a weekly basis. So Tuesday's a really pivotal day in the week, and if it wasn't for a day like today, I would definitely fall further behind on everything.
Do you think that you because I feel like I do this too, do you think that you overthink? Like, I feel like sometimes when you're like trying to look at your channel or look at like your content, like you might overthink stuff or try to, you know how like the typical streamer will be like, it's no offense to this because I understand like everyone's trying to improve, everyone's trying to find their lane, but like people will be like, all right, updated my overlays or my alerts, and it's like every couple months.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like you like overthink like trying to improve content and stuff like that?
I think it really depends on when you feel like you've hit your stride with that. So, I mean, it's different for every person. It's different for every kind of topic that we look at. But in terms of like overlays and graphics and stuff, I went through, I think, especially last year, I think it was about 5 revamps in a year.
Damn.
And that's because I was always seeking perfection. And on, I think, like the 5th time, when I went with Art by Saint, and we really took time to talk about details in terms of like color themes, what style was I going for, you know, what are my streams like, what is the kind of thing that I want to resonate in my streams. You know, we took that all together and then we built the overlays in the way that the channel and my branding looks now, and ever since then everything is stuck. I mean, that's obviously just one avenue when talking about branding, but in terms of content creation, you should always be looking at least a single topic and thinking, how can I be doing this better? Because that's what drives you forward and makes you successful in the end.
Yeah, I agree. Like, so I mean, yeah, I feel like a lot of people do overthink, but sometimes if you like break it down, you can see where you need to improve. Like, I remember when you had me on your podcast, we talked about like audio quality or like just kind of reviewing VODs. Like, it's something so simple, but you might catch something. Like, you might not even be looking for it, but you might catch something. You're like, oh shit, like I never even thought I could have improved on that area. And just little stuff.
Yeah, I think especially with streaming and content creation, we can easily become the biggest overthinkers. And the reason that I say this is because we all work on the same platform and we all share our progress on the same platforms. So, for example, whether you use Twitter, Instagram, whether it's done via YouTube, whether you go watch somebody live on Twitch, you can see people's improvements over time. And I think what people may feel is if they're seeing other people really working on their content and engaging the improvements on their channel, and they're actually seeing success from it, they may go into overdrive with their own minds and their own content, saying, look, I need to do something like this now because it's worked for this person, so obviously it's going to work for me, which is not always necessarily going to be the case, because it can matter on a base by base occasion.
Yeah.
So I think social media definitely assists in escalating overthinking for a lot of people, because we can all see each other's progress, and some people can put more time into things. I just released a video about this a couple of days ago, actually, in streamer A versus streamer B, who start at the same time. Yeah, and it hits a really powerful message. You can look at it in two ways, and one of them being jealousy and asking yourself, why is this person doing this? Why is this person getting so much success? Versus this person is actually taking a lot of time to build up on this. How can I learn from that and use that to help build some of my success as well?
Yeah, I think another thing people do is they overvalue like what other people are posting, because a lot of people will post like their highlights, they don't post the downs all the time. So I think that's the right approach. You just gotta you really just gotta focus on yourself and what you can improve, because if you worry about other people, it's not gonna help you. It really demotivates you, if anything. So just looking at yourself from a perspective of you have to, it's weird, because I was thinking about this yesterday, you have to be your biggest fan but also be your biggest critic. It's a balance.
Absolutely. And I don't think there's anything wrong with looking at other people's content in regards to how you could potentially better yourself, and using other people's ideas as catalysts for somebody does something really successful. What is it that you can learn from that? We're all here to learn from each other and learn from each other's experiences. That's what makes this platform so great. Is that there's so many people who are willing to share that experience and share that knowledge across to other people. You should soak all that up and apply it to your own experience, and don't see someone's success as jealousy, but see it as their hard work and their craftsmanship in something that they've been specializing in and something they've been working really hard on in the background. So
one thing I wanted to talk about is your introduction to streaming, because I remember you mentioned you were on Twitch for, how long was it, 2 to 4 years, something like that?
As a viewer, I've actually been on Twitch for around 9.
Holy shit!
Yeah, I was here before it was even called. Before it was even called Twitch. I was here at the Justin TV days, and I used to watch Halo 2 and early day Halo 3 competitive tournaments. That's where my whole, I'd say broadcasting, watching esports experience began. I was really into Halo, and I loved watching teams compete. So I was watching that on Justin TV. I even saw people like Ninja when he was averaging, 50 viewers. When he first began on his journey and whatnot. So it's been crazy. As a viewer, around 9 years, probably a little bit more. And as a streamer, I'm coming up to my 2-year anniversary soon.
Damn. So going into streaming, were you thinking before anything, were you I want to be a competitive gamer? Because you said you were into watching competitive Halo and all that.
I actually have a big backstory to this, and before I actually even got into streaming, let's roll the time back. I don't know, let's say the early Halo 3 days, probably around 10 years ago now. I wanted to get into esports. I wanted to compete at either Call of Duty or Halo. I wanted to get into some form of esports on either side. Unfortunately for me, A levels, which I'm not sure what you guys call over there, but it's like higher education. And then into university came around, and I had to put my studies first in front of gaming. And obviously, as people know, if you want to get to a professional level in gaming, you've got to dedicate almost all day, every day to that craft. I had to pull all that behind me. I had to focus on my career. I went through and got a degree in events management. I got a 2-1. Came out, did a couple of years of work experience in sales and events. And funnily enough, a friend of mine, almost this time 2 years ago, said to me, Stally, you're really funny. We always play games together. Why don't you try streaming on Twitch? And I thought, I love Twitch, but I haven't got the setup for it. It's just not going to work. And he said, just try it. He was like, honestly, just listen to me, just do it. I think you'll do great. And well, 2 years down the line, here we are telling the story. How it all started for a little bit of fun and became a very big addiction because it's just so much fun to broadcast and talk to people. And yeah, no, it's been my full-time job for almost a year and a half now, and you know, I'm potentially moving out this year into a content house, and this all started because a friend of mine convinced me to start myself, you know, so the world is your oyster. Yeah, man.
Shout out to him, dude.
Yeah, definitely.
Big shout out to him. He was the you've probably seen my pictures online about me being a best man at somebody's wedding.
Yeah.
That's the guy who convinced me to do
nice.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, man. It's crazy.
What were you saying, Steve?
Yeah, so now, like, you know, you're done with your studies, your full-time content creation, things like that. So I looked at you put out a new Twitch schedule kind of recently where Call of Duty is like all over it, basically.
Yeah.
So now you can dedicate a lot more time. Like you just told us that you're doing a really long stream tomorrow, and you stream Call of Duty, like, what is it, 4 times a week?
I stream 5 days a week at the moment.
Okay, and most of that is Call of Duty. So do you ever think maybe now that you're dedicating so much time to playing Call of Duty on stream, do you ever like get a little itch to try to go pro in that again? Because you went on you had like a 250 game winning streak recently. Like, you know, slouch at the game for sure. So
there's several things that you've got to look at, especially with this. Is firstly, the pro scene is on console, and I play on PC, so that would already be a barrier in what I want to do. Secondly, you're going to look at the scene itself, in that Call of Duty has recently just become a franchise scene, and what that means is, rather than having, you know, the team names like Optic Gaming and, you know, FaZe Clan and as it used to be, they're now taken territorial names like, you know, like the Overwatch League, where you've got, you know, now we've got like the London Ravens now, and you've got the Chicago Huntsmen. The whole scene has moved into a franchise state. There's like millions being poured into it. So now to become a professional Call of Duty player is probably 10 times more difficult than it even was before. So not only do you even have to be training on the right platform, you've had to have been known for a long time. Yeah, like, you know, like PS4, because PlayStation has their official partnership with Call of Duty. So for me to be recognized or even picked up as a pro, I'd need years of experience, LAN experience, winning experience, be able to pull stats consistently. I pretty much have to give everything up for it, whilst I do stream, and I can just focus on pub stomping instead, which is something I really enjoy doing. So I've accepted that I will never get into esports because it's just a whole different avenue from where I want to go now. So
yeah, that makes sense. Like, what if one day a new game comes out and you want to play that? Like, you can't just, if you're competitive, you can't just throw all that away. And if you're a content creator, then like you have your community. They're like, I'm here to watch Stallion, you know, put a fist in his mouth, wear a horse hat, and dance to like EDM music or whatever, you know. So I agree. It's a good route to take.
Yeah, much more freedom.
They're two very respectable careers, but they're two completely different routes. However, both of them, one thing that they do overlap on is the amount of time needed, and both of them will literally, just as any form of entertainment industry that you may go into, will soak up a lot of your life if you really, really want to make it. So you got to be prepared for that.
Yeah, it's really time consuming, but yes, streaming and like content creation is like, it's so fun, man. It's like literally the best job in the world.
Really is. I love it so much.
Like, just making people feel good and forget about like whatever's going on in their personal life, just hanging out, making memories.
Exactly.
Like, that's what it's all about, for sure.
100%.
Okay, this is like a question I'd like to ask every guest. How would you like to, if someone was like describing you to someone else, they're like recommending your stream, they're like, yo, like, I'm always in Stallion's community, like, you gotta watch him, and the guy's like, can you explain, like, what's his content, like, what's his personality? How would you want someone to describe you?
Oh, okay. I feel quite biased obviously saying this, but if I had
handsome?
No.
No.
If
what?
Come on, man. No,
you see this man's profile picture?
Not like
For
this,
real.
boys. Come on.
Super like.
Just a video,
if I had to nail my content down into like a couple of phrases, I would definitely say energetic.
Yeah.
There has to be energy. I love people to come in and really just be like, yo, this guy has got so much energy. That's exactly what the message I want to give when people come in. Energetic. I want it to be what's the word for like where they feel like they can be themselves in there, like opening.
Just comfortable and welcoming environment.
Welcoming.
Kind of.
Let's go with welcoming. Yeah.
Welcoming
is huge for me. Whatever background you're part of, whether you stream, game, whether you don't do either, you just come in because you maybe see me on Twitter or whatever it is. I want my community to be a one fits all kind of community. So that's something that I really, really strive for. And I also love unexpected. I'm a little bit of a loose cannon.
Spontaneous.
Yeah, especially on stream. I'm very much a loose cannon. Before you know it, we could be in a game of COD. Next thing you know, we're raving on the chair, and I feel like that's what keeps people coming back, because we just talk about and do the weirdest stuff on air, and that's why I love it so much, and that's why I got really, really addicted to it, and that's why I'm still here doing this today. So it's just really, really infectious, and I try and bring that energy that the viewers make me feel back onto the show that people come in to watch, because people are really busy these days, and in my opinion, you should be putting on your 100% every time to give people real value for their time. So,
yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of streamers, maybe not a lot, but there's streamers out there that, I mean, maybe I've done it before, but you kind of lose sight of like the whole, like these people literally could be doing anything, but they're hanging out with you.
Yeah.
And they're watching you, they're supporting you. So like, just to constantly remind yourself before every stream and after, like how grateful you should be to have people that want to be there and hang out with you.
And based off that point, like some things that I find particularly crazy, and this goes a massive shout out to the American community that hangs out in my streams. The amount of Americans that I get that come in during work that will put me on another screen and will sit there and work whilst having me on another screen. It's just more and more and more. Every day I ask, what you guys up to?
Awesome.
People be like, yo, I'm at work. And I'm like, does anybody here actually do any work? Or do you guys just hang out in my stream? And I have like, I don't know, 5-10 viewers that will literally have my stream on for the entire work period.
That's awesome.
Because I stream normally around 8 hours a day, and I've got a viewer who literally starts the minute I start and he finishes when I finish, and he's like, you get me through every single day. And I'm like, well, I just think it's so funny. That's all. It's just crazy, right?
That's awesome. That's just like having a podcast on or something.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like you just hear Stally like in the background like cussing out some guy that's like camping
725.
Like I would love I would love that if I was working and I had a stream on in my headset.
Yeah,
that'd be nice.
Yeah, it's crazy.
What's like one of the most favorite or memorable moments of your stream? I know like probably partnership is like everyone remembers that. What's like besides like an achievement, what's like something that happened that was like, whoa?
Do you mean like live on air, or do you mean anything even off air as well?
It could be either.
So yeah, undoubtedly, obviously partnership was huge on all the partnership things that I hit. Obviously achievements are really, great, and all the things that we've done as well. One moment that made me just kind of, I think it would have to be, and I don't think I could even put it down to one moment. It's just the feeling, what it's like when you raid other streamers, and just watching people's faces implode when you drop anything from, I don't know, 60 to 150 people on them has got to be one of the greatest feelings in content creation. And it's something that got me really, really, really addicted to it. It's just trying to make someone else's day. And raiding most definitely does that. So that's why I love it so much. It's just great.
Yeah, especially if you drop that many people on one person, like that'll make the whole stream for them and totally make their night.
Especially when it comes to something I really like to do, is it to like not always, but to like a generally a smaller content creator. And obviously when we use the word smaller, it's perspective in terms of like their view count and follower count. But somebody who's maybe sitting there averaging 4 to 5 viewers, and then you go and drop a raid of 90 people on them. I've made people cry before. just that feeling to know that you've made someone's life absolutely insane just by doing one little action is the best thing in the world. It's great.
Yeah, like I know every streamer remembers like the biggest raid they've ever gotten. You know, like that's something you'll never forget, and you'll take from streaming, whether if it's like someone like switches careers or they, you know, they start doing something else, like they'll always remember like that night that they got like 100-person raid or 1,000 or whatever the number may be, like and just how they felt, that rush.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so you came to TwitchCon. I got to meet you. Like I got to finally meet you. You got to meet a lot of people. How long was the travel for? Like 26 hours, something crazy. I remember you told me.
Bang on. From me leaving my house to landing.
That's fucking crazy.
Landing in California, San Diego was 26 hours.
Oh my god, dude! You didn't even go to bed, did you? That first night, did you?
I got in the shower and came straight over to Sorry's house and started drinking.
That's
and
crazy,
I hadn't slept on the plane or anything,
like,
bro. Like I just went straight.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was the first thing you noticed about like being in the States or being in the US, or like what was like something you're like, this is different?
Is that I've got a funny story actually. It was in because we took 3 flights. It was the UK to Florida, Florida to Arizona, and then Arizona to Cali. And within the first 5 minutes of us landing in Florida, we stood out, me and Styler, like sore thumbs, because we're both very loud. We're both really typically British. And everybody just looked at us like we were like aliens. Because I know you guys have some sort of crazy obsession with the UK accent. And I remember going to pick up my bags and just random people just talking to me like, saying like, "Oh my god, you're from England," and I'm like, "It's really not that special." It's just I don't know. I don't know. Like Americans make you feel like a celebrity when you're over there because of the accent. It really made me laugh. I loved it, and I really, really hope I can come back this year. I'm really hoping to come back. So.
Do you think the opposite usually happens? Like if you guys see like Americans in the UK, is it like, oh my god, you're from America? Is it the same thing? Or do you think it's just like a weird American thing to think that it's weird that people come from other countries?
Yeah, I know. I don't know.
Weird,
like
but
it's
special.
I'm not sure really. Like we'd be like, oh my god, you're from America, but I think you guys love it a lot more than we love it, vice versa, if that makes sense.
You guys are just cute.
I don't, mate.
Your
no,
accents.
we're really not. If you come over here, you would not think we're cute. One funny experience I had when working at a hotel many years ago is I had an American. They were like an American business. They'd come over for a meeting or something, and I was serving like the breakfast buffet. And one of them pointed at one of the hash browns that we had, and he said to me, "Excuse me, sir, can I get one of those chips?" And I just looked at him and I just went, "Chips?" I was like, well, what do you mean chips? He was like, one of those. I was like, you mean the hash browns? He was just like, yeah. It's just such a culture difference. It makes me laugh so much. But yeah, you guys are funny, man. Honestly.
Wait, so what's a hash brown there?
No, he called it a chip.
Right.
Where was he from?
He's from America.
I've never heard an American call a potato like a hash brown.
He said, "Can I get one of those
weird.
chips?" And I just looked at him. I was like, "I don't know what you're talking about."
Fuck.
I was like, "You mean the hash browns?"
Weird.
So,
what do you guys? What do you guys call fries?
We definitely have hash browns.
We just call fries either fries or chips. Yeah, pretty much chips.
Yeah, so you guys call fries chips.
Yeah.
What do you guys call chips? Like crisp? I think it is.
Chips. Like potatoes.
No, we call chips.
Yeah.
The only thing that we call crisps are the ones in the packets. If that makes sense. Yeah, they're crisps.
So like the crunchy ones, like the baked potato, like circle.
Yeah, crisp. Yeah.
I was gonna say.
Maybe he was like trying to be cool. Maybe he was like, look how
I think he was trying to be fancy,
I know that those are chips. Yeah.
He's trying to fit in.
And I just looked at him and I was like, we don't do chips, sir. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's serious. Poor guy.
Sorry, this
trying to fit
great.
So Wendy's. You guys have all the same fast food places?
No, very, very different actually.
What's your famous one?
Oh, what, in the UK? Probably
Yeah, like when I go to the UK, you've got to go to blank.
Go to where? Sorry.
Like
he's
what's your like? Oh, if you
def-
go to the UK, you have to go to.
Are we talking like posh cuisine or general?
You can do both. I won't know either of them.
Yeah.
General is definitely
curious.
Weatherspoons.
Weatherspoon, dude, that's the most UK thing. I
As
love
you
it.
probably know, in the UK, we're pretty obsessed with partying, drinking, and Weatherspoons does proper good English food. They do really cheap drinks, and they do really good hangover breakfast. So they will get you drunk. They will get you. You see where I'm going with this, right?
Do they call it that?
Yeah.
They will get you drunk at a very cheap price, and then they will recover you the next morning with a very cheap and very tasty breakfast. So
That's
it
the
just does
perfect
everything.
business model.
Precisely,
Yeah.
right?
They take care of you.
Yeah, that's like the last place you go at a night out, and then the first place you go when you wake up.
There you go.
Right. They're like, I saw you last night.
Yeah, you go there for like pre-drinks,
Yeah, I saw you, like, 4
and then you
hours
go out, and then you go there the next day to hang out to cure yourself. So Weatherspoons is like
Perfect.
infamous in the UK. It's everywhere. And then posh, I don't really know. Like we have
What is parsh?
like
mean?
posh, like expensive,
Like posh spice.
like you know, like how do you guys call it? A la carte. I don't know really. I don't think we have anything like that's generally through and through English. That's posh here. We have a lot of nice places here, but your food is way more full on. Like you guys, I thought it used to be like. I thought it was one whole meme about American food and American eating culture. And then I went there and I was like, wow, you guys do not mess around when it comes to food. Like, wow. You guys put us to shame, honestly. It's crazy.
Yeah, I've heard one big thing I've heard a lot is UK people say that like bread in America is like almost tastes like cake.
Yeah.
There, like it's just way.
And you guys eat
like
cheese
sweeter
with
and
everything.
So not healthy.
Like,
Yeah.
I never forget going to Denny's and the lady who was serving us our food, and I was trying to get like a big breakfast, and she was saying to me, would you like any cheese with that hash brown? I was like, cheese with hash browns? She was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, go on then. And then she was like, well, would you like some cheese with that egg? And I just looked at it, I was like, I just looked at it, and I was like, I'll tell you what, I'll just take a big plate of cheese, and I'll have a side of eggs, a side of bacon. I was like, do you just they just eat cheese with everything? It's just crazy.
Yes.
Oh, and your wings and just American food is insane.
What's wrong with our wings?
They're insanely good.
Do you like the bone in or boneless?
Anything with chicken on it, bro, doesn't bother me.
Oh yeah, you did.
That's the correct answer.
Okay.
But yeah, you guys really do not mess around. I remember getting a starter. I think we were at Dave and Buster's, the arcade place.
Oh yeah.
They do great food, and we got a starter. And by the time I ate the starter, I was like, bro, I don't know if I can eat my main. I was like, and I come from an Italian background. We know how to eat, and I was like, mate,
for sure.
I was like, these guys are not messing around. Like, I was like, I just got a chicken wing starter, and I was like, these chicken wings are like the size of my fist. I was like, why are these so big? In the UK, they'd be smaller.
Well, you can fit it in your mouth if it's as big as your fist.
True statement.
But like, I feel like that's true though, because like every time someone goes out to eat, almost like I'd say like more than half the time they have a to-go box. So like that we're given a lot of food. There's like, you get bread while you're waiting, then you get your appetizer, and then you get your main, and then dessert. Like
you get a salad after the appetizer, and then your main.
Yeah.
And you've got Karen at the side constantly saying, "Do you want more coffee?" Every 5 seconds. It's like, Jesus Lord, holy.
I can't imagine someone from the UK going to a Denny's. It sounds fantastic.
That should be a vlog.
We went there quite a lot.
Quite
a lot. It was good.
Oh man,
it was good.
That's funny.
How do Americans dress differently than UK? Like, what's the style?
Not too different.
Really?
One thing that I was told about a lot actually when I was over there, a lot of guys were asking me, why do you wear such skinny jeans? And I was like, in the UK, men wear more skinny jeans than women, and every single American looked at me like, what? And they were like, and I was like, And they look at me like, you don't wear boot cut? And I was like, I can't think of anything worse than boot cut, personally. It's just my style. Yeah, I don't know. Apart from that, it's not really any different. We dress very similar, I would say. But skinny jeans on men is very common over here, where over there, a lot of people are asking me, why do you wear such skinny jeans? So, yeah, I guess that would be the difference.
I could see it being like, it's starting to come around. I think skinny jeans it's starting to be a thing huge, now. Like, just because it fit. Yeah, we have like we're starting to have clothes that are like flex fit a lot now, like in America, and like stuff that fits you. So like, I could totally see like skinny jeans being more just relevant.
Just everything here is all muscle fit.
We had a baggy era.
Yeah, everything here is all skinny fit and muscle fit. Like every shop you go into,
I love that.
Like that. So, yeah, man.
What are you saying, Sean?
Yeah, I was just saying in like the mid to late 2000s, we had like that huge like baggy era.
Baggy, super baggy.
Yeah, everything was like 3 times the size as it should have been.
Yeah.
So now we're finally like pulling around the other way. Like, oh yeah, clothes actually are supposed to fit you. That's right.
It's the 10-year cycle, right? That's what they say about fashion. Things always come back around.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can see it. Yeah.
That website that me and Mike were checking out called Boohoo Man. People at my work were talking about it a few days ago, and they're based in the UK, and a lot of the outfits and stuff there were like typical things that I would see around. They look nice, but nothing was like outlandish or anything. Yeah.
There's some websites I'll go to, like Forever 21, which I love Forever 21 or H&M, but some of the fashion, they try to like, you can tell when a clothing store tries to make a statement, because like
random as hell.
They'll have some stuff I'm just like, what the fuck is this? They just put like, they just sewed like 3 rags together, called it a shirt.
Yep.
They tried to be like edgy and stuff, right? I don't know, like hipster. You're like, what is this?
Yeah, definitely hipster.
Try to like originate a new fad.
Yeah, I think rich people just get bored, so they're just like, let me just like wear something that makes no sense and it'll look good because I have money.
Literally, bang on.
Yeah. Like at fashion shows, you're like, what what are they wearing? Like, I don't know, like just like they just try to like be different. But I like clothes that fit me.
I'm about that.
I like muscle fit is the best. Like stretchy, flex fit, like it's breathable. Yeah, I like that stuff.
It's just unfortunate for people that like America isn't exactly the skinniest country around.
I mean,
so if like the bagginess helps like shield. Yeah,
when I came over there, I definitely said to myself, right, I really want to try American cuisine. I'm not gonna hold back. And I was like, holy, I feel like I've put on like 5 stones since I've been here. Like, you can definitely. You can
5 stones.
Can you convert that to pounds?
Yeah. I don't know what that is in pounds, but a lot.
Like, what's an object that would weigh 5 stones?
I'm trying to look around and think now.
A tire?
Yeah, probably like a tire or something.
Okay. Damn.
Yeah, and like, imagine you didn't care about your self-care and you just allowed the love for food to consume you. You just eat that every day. You would get very obese very quickly. Like, it's insane.
Yeah, that's kind of my life, honestly. It's tough, man. Like, ever since, like, I don't know, since if pizza's a thing, like, I'm gonna
jump on it.
I'm gonna eat it if it's a thing.
Yeah, right.
It's
you
so
feel
that. It's so hard to like just switch your diet.
So
like,
much.
I gotta have pizza every once in a while. Yeah, and like dessert, stuff like that. Oh, dude, if you come to TwitchCon this year, if you ever are close by a Mongolian barbecue, you have to get this thing called a big brownie dessert. It might be the greatest dessert you've ever had. Well. Yes, it's a hot brownie on top of cold ice cream, and they put like caramel on it and chocolate syrup.
Dude,
oh my
you
God.
Literally just described my favorite ever dessert. That's exactly what my week.
It's so good.
Like, wow.
And it's huge. Like, me and Mike split one time, and I was good.
Literally, this makes
yeah, we went
just talking about it.
It was so good, and like, yeah, you don't want to like go shopping for clothes after that because that's 5 stones for sure.
It's a lot of stones.
I'm gonna start talking in stones.
Isn't it just? I think it's just stone.
Yeah, 5 stone.
It's
so
like it's.
5 stone.
Yeah, I mean, we also use kg.
I only know this.
How many stones do you weigh?
I'll be honest, I can't even remember. I think I'm like 11 stone 10.
It sounds so crazy.
That seems like such a big, like, I feel like the difference between like 10 stone and 11 stone must be huge then, versus like we have pounds, so it's like you can go from 155 to 156. But if stone, can you be like 10 and a half stone?
Yeah, you can do that. We also do kg is also quite popular here. Kilograms. I think I'm like 78 kg now. I'm not sure, something around that anyway. But yeah, it's yeah, you guys do everything with pounds over there, right?
Wait.
Yeah.
Do you guys do Fahrenheit or Celsius for weather?
Degrees Celsius? Well, you do Fahrenheit, right?
See, like, dude,
America is basically the only country that does Fahrenheit.
Because you guys are like, oh my god, it's 30 degrees, and I'm like, that's freaking boiling. And then you guys are, Fahrenheit.
No, it's cold as fuck, actually.
Like 30 degrees, 30 degrees Celsius is really hot, but that's like what, 100 degrees Fahrenheit, and I always get confused. So.
Well, because isn't it like 0 degrees Celsius is freezing, right? And then 100 degrees is like what water boils at? Isn't that how? Yeah, so like that seems super easy. You know, that actually makes sense. But for Fahrenheit, it's like 32 degrees is freezing, and I don't even know what the heck boiling water is. It's like 156 or something. So it's
I think it's 212.
212, okay. Yeah, so it's just like you just have to like remember.
Can we also talk about the fact that you guys put the month in front of the day when doing...
Oh, dude! Every time I remember, it was there was this one guy that posted he was gonna do vlogging or something. It was I didn't even follow him, but he said like 21-1, and I was like, "There's not 21 months in a year, you nimwit."
And surely it makes sense to go day, month to year, because that's like the chronological order.
It does make sense.
It does make more. Everything you guys do makes sense.
There is
I agree.
not.
Like
you're driving on the left-hand side. Sorry, the steering wheel should be on the the left. That I don't agree with.
Okay, that I say we just settle it and go in the middle.
Yeah, we have definitely
drive in the middle.
We have definitely got that wrong. The steering wheel should be on the other side, 100%.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. Top right doesn't make any sense.
If I drove a car like that, I'd probably crash the first like turn I took.
Yeah, it'd be
it doesn't
so
make any
weird.
sense why the wheel would be on the top right, because things should be from the top left. Just makes sense.
Measurement wise though, you guys what you guys do makes more sense. Like the metric system, it works in like
it works in tens and hundreds. Yeah,
let's just build an island in the middle of like
everything.
UK and the US, and let's just do all like let's make it like the perfect island, right? Yes,
content island.
Content island.
That would be sick. Dude.
Hype island.
Let's do it.
How did you? What was your first like introduction to hype? I was gonna ask that question too.
Introduction to hype.
Yeah, we're already kind of coming up on the 45 minutes.
Yeah, that's cool. So I was late 2018. I was finishing up with a team called Twin Entity, which was my team. I made a bound, a leap and bound into esports and content creation in terms of an org. I wanted to give it a try. I had somebody who I at the time considered a friend. To go for it. We went our separate ways. He decided he didn't want to do it anymore. I decided it was way too much pressure. There's so much to do as an owner of a team. And I just thought, this is just not for me anymore. I can't work with this. I want to just get in an org that's already like partly established and help establish and work with that. Funnily enough, at that time, Hype Trip approached me and he says, we would love to pick you up as a streamer for Hype. Originally I said no because I was in Twin, and I said, listen, if anything ever happens with Twin, I'll be in touch. Twin within the next couple of weeks disbanded. I went back to Trib. I said, if you'll still take me, the offer is there. And without a shadow of a doubt, he brought me on the Hype, and I started off as a streamer, went on to the lead streamer, now up to head of content and running all the content ops. So yeah, it's crazy, man.
What would you say? Because I know like there's I don't even know what I would say, like a stigma, or there's like a certain view on like orgs, because you see there's like hundreds of orgs, especially like smaller ones. They'll start up, they have these plans, they do this stuff, they recruit all these people, everyone, all this hype's around it, and something or another like happens, and you don't ever hear about them again. What would you say is because some people might say like, oh, like what does an organization do for me? Is it, and then there's the other side where it would be like, well, this is like more of a family. We have like plans to get sponsorships. We want to help our creators. What would you say like the benefits are to being a part of like an organization such as Hype Unit?
I think, well, a lot of it I can't really either say because of either like NDAs and things that are coming out this year, or stuff that we can't release yet. But obviously we talk about our family feeling.
Right.
We talk about wanting to gain successful content creators and put them all under one roof. What we're trying to achieve is like a brand where successful people and people who have already proven themselves can come in and it be a two-way cycle. So that be, we promote their content and show them off, and in return they show their loyalty to us and they work together with us on what we do in Hype to want to see the brand of Hype grow as well. You get that formula working and you start bringing in more and more bigger and bigger creators. Eventually you have something that spirals out of control. And I feel like this year is going to be a very pivotal year for Hype. We already have so many things in the pipeline that we can't talk about because of NDAs and stuff, but just even the next couple of weeks, just watch what comes from the page. It's going to be a very exciting time. But going back to your previous question, anybody can start a team. You can have an idea, you can start a team, you can get into it. I don't think people realize how much it takes to actually run a team. And this is from someone who, without tooting my own horn, I'm pretty solid at time management and schedule management, and I thought I could do it. I couldn't do it. Like it is extremely hard. There are thousands of teams out there. Everybody will, on the most part, are all doing the same thing. Like a lot of teams copy each other, and it's hard to find that unique aspects. And we try to, on the most part, branch away from that and try and bring our own unique aspect to things. And a lot of people see their favorite teams and they'll go, you know what, I want to mimic that, and they'll quickly realize that this did not happen overnight. This happened over 5+ years with legalities and things going wrong, and they don't see all that, and they just think that they can do it and then mimic it, and reality leads to expectation, and it just comes crumbling down really quickly when they realize so.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, I see people like wanting to, quote unquote grind for a team or announce their grind. And I don't know, I have my own thoughts about it and my own opinions, obviously, but I think the best thing you can do as a creator, whether there's a team you want to be involved in or there's some type of org you want to be working towards, I think it all starts with you, and it all starts with, like you said, building your brand, establishing your content. You want to be able to be like a quote unquote like household name in our community of people, and be on the rise up and be improving every day before, like, I think it's best to focus on yourself and your content, to have it where multiple teams are asking you to join rather than you asking them to join.
It's a huge difference, like a really, really huge difference. And honestly, something that we tried to move away from this year is the whole grinder mentality. And, if people want to push for their teams, that's by all means go for it, and something I will always help and support people with. However, what they've got to understand is, if you're putting in the hard work and you're achieving things anyway, teams will come to you 100%.
Yep.
So,
I think that's the way to go. We're going in on 45 minutes. So is there anything else you wanted to add, Stadium or Sean?
No, I mean, we basically covered everything that I wanted to.
And then one last thing, where can we find you? Where can the people find you?
So I have different links. If you guys want to find me on either Twitch or YouTube, it's at ImStallion. That's ImStallion, all one word. On Twitter, you can find me at ImStallion TV, and on Instagram, you can find me at ImStallion_TV. We also have a team Discord, which is the Stallion streaming community, which got verified last year. And if you go into Discord and type Team SSC, you'll find us on there as well.
And all of those links will be in the description, of course, on the YouTube video,
we'll have it
to make that a little bit easier and streamlined. But
they'll be able to just click a link and go to it rather than trying to remember. So
yep.
All right, we should be all set. Thanks for joining us, brother. It was a pleasure to get to know a little bit more about the UK and the differences.
No worries. It's always a pleasure to get involved in these kind of things, and I like to share my experience as much as I can. So hopefully this helps somebody today. So thank you for inviting me.
Beautiful.
Hell yeah, brother.
I'm
excited.
We wish you good luck with Hype and with you yourself as a streamer. It sounds like you have some exciting things coming out, so we will definitely be looking forward to checking out.
I really appreciate it, guys. Let's
2020,
get it.
the year of Stally. Woo!
Appreciate you guys.
All right, brother. And we're back. All right.
We are.
Crazy, dude. Fucking magical.
Super magic, just like that.
How do you think it went? I thought it went pretty well.
Yeah, I thought it went well. We got a nice insight on the life of a successful Twitch streamer, successful organization with Hype Unit, what goes into everything, a day in the life in the UK versus America, all that good stuff.
Yeah, I love Stallion, man. Shout out to him. If you guys are watching the podcast, if you're supporting me and Sean, make sure you go follow his links in the description. And tell him you came from Chillin For Our Lives. Yeah,
that's important. As you guys know, but let's wrap this baby up, boy.
Yes, sir.
Let's wrap it up. First, if I may, we don't need to go into super detail. We can if we want, but we probably shouldn't, because then we got a 10-hour podcast coming our way. But I would be remiss, Mr. Super Stan Sean. I have to mention. Music to Be Murdered by Eminem's new album coming out. I just want to say that I absolutely loved it, and it was fantastic. I love the surprise drop. There's not a single bad song on there, and it's just beautiful, man.
Yeah, it was good. It was very easy to listen to.
Yeah.
Very easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. He just out of nowhere. That's how he's rolling these days.
Yep.
So
because the revival rollout was so bad that that's why he did Kamikaze the way he did, and that was so good that I guess that's why he was just like, boom, there it is. Because with this one, there's a lot more like rumblings of people saying like, yo, I know Eminem's got something coming. We don't know when, but he's got something coming. So like you could feel it that something was happening soon. With Kamikaze, it was literally out of nowhere. But with this one, I knew like something was around the corner or whatever, but it was still no single, no nothing. Just boop, there it is, 20 songs.
That's a good way to do it. I mean, it sucks for your stands. Yeah, it sucks for your stands and your big fans that want like 10 songs every day, or they just want to listen to you all day every day. But I think it's good because, especially in his case, because a lot of the stuff he does is controversial. So like, I don't know, it's good just to drop it and just be like, here's the good music, listen to it. There it is. I'm not gonna hype this up. Like, you guys already know, who I am, and he's already like one of the GOATs. So like, I don't know. Exactly. I think it's good too. Like Drake does it sometimes. He'll randomly drop something and then people get super hyped because it's out of nowhere.
Yep.
And I think expectations are lower too when it's out of the ordinary.
Yeah, because you don't have expectations really. It's just like you don't have time to think or time to be like, oh, what's this song gonna be versus this song, or oh dang, he got this feature or whatever. It's just like, here it is. Like you just listen to it and it just. And in this album's case, it just like punched you in the face for 20 songs straight.
Yep.
So it was great.
All right. Do you want to cover gaming news? A couple delays?
Yeah, we can do that quickly too. Basically, so the last 2 episodes was basically just about how hyped we are for this spring being the hypest gaming quarter of all time. Not really, but a super hype gaming quarter.
It's up there, yeah.
Yeah, and now it's just kind of like a pretty good one. Because Final Fantasy VII got delayed briefly, but it got delayed. I'm gonna miss some for sure. Avengers got delayed. Cyberpunk got delayed. Hella delay. And then just today, or no, yesterday. We're recording this on Tuesday the 21st. So just yesterday, Monday the 20th, Dying Light 2 got delayed indefinitely.
What
So
the?
that is devastating. I was super looking forward to that game. It was arguably in my top 4. It might have been my 4th game I was looking forward to the most. But delayed indefinitely. Who the hell knows what that means? Like, we could be looking at next year now. I wonder what happened.
That sucks.
That sucks big time.
Yeah, I mean, it gives you more time to save your wallet from all that damage. Get the games. Yeah, get some games and be able to play games you normally probably wouldn't. Like, you don't have to choose as much as from before.
Yeah, and now I might be able to get Neo 2, whereas I was going to skip that one just for my wallet's sake. But I might be able to slide in and snag that one now.
Slide in.
I feel like I'd have to beat Sekiro before I get that game. Not that they're related in any way, but they're similar Souls type games, Souls like games. But as long as Doom Eternal doesn't get delayed and The Last of Us 2 doesn't get delayed again, as long as I have those 2 games, then I'm good to go. And Resident Evil 3, obviously, but dang, it's been like devastating. Avengers, Final Fantasy. Cyberpunk was the big one. Oh my!
It was. All that matters right now for me is mainly Last of Us 2. Like, because I just beat 1. After a year, I started it.
After a year,
I started it last January, I think, or like last spring.
Dang.
And revisited it and enjoyed it, man. It was a great game. It's top tier.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah.
Was it what you were expecting?
I don't know. It had like you and like just everyone in the gaming community hyped it up so much. I think part of it ruined it for me.
Oh, for sure.
Because I was expecting like a 100 out of 100 game, but it was still in the 90s. It was still a really, really good game. Well made. I think if I had to summarize it, I would say immersive and pioneer. It's like very immersive and as a pioneer, and like the way it like had enemies react and just certain ways you interact in the game in certain moments, like when you're on the ground and you gotta like press a button to like climb through stuff. And I won't like spoil it, but like there's just the way it plays is awesome. Like, it really just got me so excited for 2. Like, I'm just like 2's gonna blow like everyone's mind.
Yeah, it is.
I have a feeling.
Yeah. Like, you can just tell from the gameplay trailer of her like going through that store and like fighting those people, like picking them off one by one, and how she like climbs under the car, and they seem to have that evade button and all that stuff of just like. Yeah, I really think it's gonna be something else, man. It's gonna be mind blowing for sure.
What's the date? May? Do you know release date? May.
Oh, and you're cutting out. Gotta love Discord. Awesome. That's a throwback to episode 2, I believe.
Yeah, we haven't had that happen really too much.
No, we haven't. We've been blessed by the Discord gods, but they're fickle. They're fickle gods. So
I'm gonna guess May 15th.
To be honest, as much as I should know, I don't know off the top of my head. So I'm just trying to just not I don't know, think about it every second of my life. But no, it's May 29th. So
okay. It did get delayed, so it's not all your fault.
Very end of delay. Yeah, that's true. It was February initially, so we should be like 3 weeks out from that game. But instead we're 4 months out.
Yeah.
Damn.
It'll be worth.
Oh.
It'll be worth.
It'll be so worth.
But yeah, so the episode after that comes out, the podcast episode, it's probably gonna be a whole Last of Us 2 episode.
Yeah, like I really, really want to do maybe with more than just that game, but with that game specifically, I would love to do just like Last of Us 2 in review and just talk about it in super depth, full spoilers, everything for like an hour and a half. I think that'd be amazing.
Would that have to be a separate segment? Probably. I think it could be.
It could be. It could be an episode of the pod would be cool, but it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, because, I don't know, it's tough because you don't want to ruin it for people that want to listen to us.
Yeah, that's true. But, yeah, because people love a good spoiler cast. Like, spoiler casts are awesome and a lot of fun, and people love them. But, if they don't want to listen to it yet because of the spoilers, then obviously they would basically have to skip a whole episode. So.
And something that we didn't even mention. We've been talking about it for a while, but we finally made upgrades to our graphics, which you guys will see in this episode, I believe.
Yeah,
so,
you will. You will see them. The
hope
little,
you guys
like,
enjoy that.
The little shoosh things that are coming by, and the
shoosh,
and they pop up. Yeah, they say our Twitters, and they say the title of the pod.
The new thumbnail.
Oh yeah, the new thumbnail.
Yep.
We've upgraded yet again. 16 episodes in, and we've already upgraded like 3 times, man.
Dude, we're like Beyonce for our lives. We're upgrading.
Yeah, definitely. Beyonce for our lives.
Beyonce. That sounds like some type of like new species of human.
Yeah, just like like a perfect being. You're Beyonce.
Yeah. Oh, it's a Beyonce. Look at that. Their body's like an hourglass. But yeah. I guess we can move on to rapid fire unless you have any last notes on something you want to bring up.
Nope. We can finish it up with our rapid fire questions as we always do. We're probably already coming up on a little bit over an hour.
Perfect.
Yes, so let's hit it. Yeah, I'll go first.
Okay.
I'm really interested in this one because it's a
Dude,
it's what?
Before you ask,
okay.
Do you think it's ever gonna happen where we have the same question? Because that'd be hilarious.
No, I don't think it'll happen.
I think that our questions could be close, maybe one time, but I don't know if it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because sometimes I think of them. Like sometimes I just think of them throughout the week and I write it down, but other times I have to like go and look up like fun questions. So it's possible. But for this one, both of the ones I have today, I thought of myself. I'm really interested in your answer for this one because it's a wrestling question and you're not like in wrestling at all. So like I'm just curious to see. Right, not yet. But I'm curious to see what you come up with here. But if you were a professional wrestler, you have to be a professional wrestler tomorrow for some reason. It's just your path. God came down and said, no, this is your destiny. You're doing this. What would your finishing move be?
I actually showed it on camera. It sounded like I was fapping, but I swear I wasn't. I'll save that for after the podcast. I was slapping my elbow. I was slapping my weenus. Okay. Like I was about to do the people's elbow. What would be my finishing move? If I could, do I have body limitations? So like, can I just pick something, or does it have to be something I realistically can do?
Well, like a human has to be able to do it, but like if it may be like a little bit more athletic than what you're capable of right now, that's fine. Because like you can train for this, but don't say like I'm gonna pick him up and throw him a mile or something. Like you can't do that.
Have you ever?
You can't kill the person. You have to be able to do it without murdering them.
Have you ever seen those like tribal people like do those crazy spin flip things? Like, have you ever seen that there's like this viral video of this guy? He's like a tribal, I don't know what the name of them are, but he's like this tribal looking dude, and he like goes to like throw a pitch for the first pitch of the game, opening pitch. Okay. And he like winds up, and as he like before he throws, he does like a McTwisty, like a flip spin. Yeah. I'd want to do that and grab the person with my legs and slam them down on the ground, and then climb on the top rope and do a front flip and then spread eagle. Ah!
Dang, so it's a combo?
I want their belly to be facing my belly, so it's just like when worlds collide, just
Oh, so like you take them on the top rope and do that?
I would
are they laying on the mat and you jump onto them?
I would run so that they would be like all wobbly, right? Like, and then I would run like they always do. I'd run, bounce off, come back, do the spinny flip thing, grab their neck with my legs, slam them on the ground. They're down, just like in agony. And while they're doing that, I climb the rope, I get on top, and I fucking hype up the crowd. I'm like, let's go! Like, you know how like Ray Lewis would do when he's on defense? He's like,
definitely
waving his arms. I would do that. I'm like, get fucking hype! And then I would like jump off the top rope, front flip, spread eagle, boom! And then they'd have it in 4K, and it would just show like our bellies ripple against each other. And then
that'd be dope.
And then I would pin him. What would you do?
That'd be dope. Well, what would you call it? The electricity wave?
What would I call it? I would call it. What's a good name?
I have no idea what mine would be called.
I'd call it Dino Chicky Nuggies.
Perfect.
I don't know. That's a good one, sure.
Mine's a little less hype, but I think it's just as effective, maybe. This was my finishing move when I was a kid, and I used to like wrestle on my trampoline with my friends and stuff. So one of my favorite finishers ever has always been the F5, Brock Lesnar's finishing move. But I have a little bit of a twist on it. Instead of just like twisting them around and just doing a normal F5 like he does, I end it in a brain buster instead.
Can you explain the difference between an F5 and a brain buster?
Yeah, okay, so I'm like mimicking it, but I know this is audio podcast too, so it's like, okay, so an F5, you get them on your shoulders, so they're like in like a fireman's carry basically, so like they're just laying across your shoulders, and then so their legs are on your right arm. And then you push them forward, like you push their legs forward so that their legs like spin out in front of you, and then you just like fall down with them and slam their like body like into the mat
kind of thing.
Kind of. So like and you throw them forward, like their legs forward, and then you fall backwards. So their like whole body just smashes against the ring. But what I would do instead was I would flip their legs forward still, but then I would tuck their head under my left arm and then fall forward, pile driving like the top of their head straight into the mat instead of their entire body. It would be like a head first instead of their whole body.
Would you call it the get some?
No, but I should. But I'd call it the Yeah. No, I have no idea what it would be called.
Stadium Beast lines up the
Yeah.
His finishing move.
I would always love a shooting star press would be one of my moves too, for sure. Even though there's no way on the like face of the earth I could ever pull off a shooting star press, but that's always been like the most beautiful looking move in wrestling.
Nice.
But yeah, so yeah, that would be my finishing move.
All right, my question is, all right, I'm gonna save my best one for last.
Okay.
First one's gonna be, what question do you hate being asked the most?
Why don't you like, I don't know, this is hard to explain because there's like a ton of different permutations of this question, but basically like, why don't you like party? Like, why don't you go out and party, or why aren't you more social, or so like that kind of thing? Just because the people that are super social are always the ones that ask you that question, because they don't understand not wanting to be like that. So it's like, some of them, I'm generalizing of course, but like being able to explain like just a couple days ago at work, a few people were like dancing in the alley and stuff, and like just getting down and having fun, and I was like, and I turned to the guy next to me and I was like, see, these people still invite me to parties, and the parties are like this, and they don't understand why I don't go. And he was like, someone here has to teach Shauna how to have fun. I was like, fam, I have plenty of fun, it's just a different kind of fun. Like, that's their fun, and I have my own fun. And he's like, well, like, it looks like they're having such a great time. And I'm like, well, I have such a great time too, I just do other things. So you just have to get me in my element. So that's the question I hate being asked the most.
Those girls need to be covered in half-baked Ben and Jerry's while Guitar Hero's being played.
Yeah, exactly. If you're not half covered in Ben and Jerry's, then like, don't even invite me.
Don't even say my name in bed. Okay. So I get that though. Like it's just like you're not wired the same. Like it's just I get it though, because being at a party, like most people act so like just dumb. Like they don't know how to handle their alcohol. 99 out of 10 people.
Yeah.
I want to be around people that can handle it. They can be like happy and like in a good mood, but like not overzealous. Like not where you're like intruding on people's like space or like just being too center of attention. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Exactly. And the people that usually invite me to parties from work, they all try to like be the center of attention. So then it's just like a big fight of who can be like the most loud and obnoxious and attention seeking. And I'm just sitting on the chair, petting the dog, like, please stop. Like, can we not stop, but like, I just don't try to get me involved. You guys have your fun right here. Like, I'm going to sit here. I'm chilling. I'm good. You guys keep going. They'll be like, come on, Shawnee, and like try to get me going. No. No.
Let's see. What question do I hate being asked the most?
Yes.
Oh, I have an easy answer to this. Anything about my personal life.
Oh, really?
Anytime someone's like who are you dating, or like did you hook up with so and so, or like I don't know, just like anything about my personal life. Like if I wanted to tell someone, I would.
Right.
And most of the time when people know about your personal life, it causes problems. It's never anything good that comes out of it.
Yeah. Rarely is.
Yeah. But I don't know. I just don't like. It's probably because of like the jobs that I've had. Like people talk about other people's lives, like it just becomes this whole like drama filled thing.
Yeah.
It pushed me to just be like, all right, like I'm not gonna tell anyone about like what I do, because one, it's just not their business, and it I don't know. It mostly just causes drama or jealousy or whatever.
Yeah.
But that would
100%.
definitely be my answer. Yeah. It's not that I hate it. It's just like I'd rather just talk about something else.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
All right. My last question is, what is your favorite conspiracy theory?
The most interesting one is the fact that Justin Bieber and a bunch of celebrities are lizard people. That's super. Yeah.
Yes.
That one like is crazy. Like
That they're lizard people. That's funny.
Yeah, that.
I totally everything that has to do with that conspiracy, except for the actual lizard part. But like like the whole Illuminati shit. That's my answer.
Mm-hmm. Oh, back to this. Actually reminded me a question that I hate being asked. What's your sign? Dude, you could not ask anyone in the world more that doesn't want to answer that question or care about that subject. And I don't know why. I think it's a thing just because it's like relatable and it's something to like talk about. Yeah. But like anytime any person brings up like their sign, I'm just like, all that stuff is it's so like cookie cutter, like could adapt to any person. Like I could read a list and I'm like, oh, I can relate to that one and that one and that one and that one and that one. Like I'm all signs.
Yeah. Like Sagittarius hate fake people. It's like, bro, who doesn't?
Yeah, it's so stupid.
Yeah, like I know a lot of people are into this, so we're shitting on a lot of our listeners right now, maybe. Well, but like I might have said this on another episode, I don't remember, but I love when people ask me what my sign is, and then I'll tell them a different sign. And then they're like, dude, I knew it. I knew you were a Cancer. You act just like it. And I'm like, I'm a Scorpio, actually. They're like, what?
They're like, oh, I could see that too. Like they try to like adjust their answer.
Like, do they really? Every single person born from this date to this date is the same and can fit into this category. That makes no sense. Like, oh, you were born in March, so you must be like this, this, and this. That doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry, but this shit is so dumb. I don't care how like closed-minded I'm being right now, but I hate that.
No,
shit.
It's not. It's not closed-minded. It's just what it is. Like, and the original signs have changed so much because they were based off of like coordinates in the stars, and it changes like every so often. So like people would be different signs, and like it just changed too much, and it's just based off of just so generalized. Like it's just, I don't know. Anytime anyone brings up signs, which they don't too often, I'll see people like tweet about it every now and then, but like I would probably believe in lizard people over that.
Oh, for sure. That's
at least like possible. Like I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. Okay. This is my last question. Ready?
Ready.
This is probably I'm gonna say this. This is probably the best rapid fire question we've ever had.
Wow.
Ready?
We're gonna have to look back at the tape for this, but okay.
The question is, can you spell the? No, it's if you could be any mythical creature, what would you be and why?
Oh dang.
Yeah.
Are gods mythical creatures?
Anything. Yep.
Yeah. No, that's too easy of an answer. I won't give you that. I'll give you like a non-human like character, just to be, just to be different.
I hope you don't pick mine. Please.
Damn, I know for a fact I'm gonna like play God of War or something later and be like, oh yeah, that one. Like I forgot about one. You know. I don't know that many mythical creatures. Like, a unicorn seems to be like it'd be really cool to be a unicorn. That'd be dope.
Don't start listing them off because you're gonna take my answer.
Okay. I would be
A wizard?
no.
You're a
Are
wizard,
lizards
Harry.
Oh, wizard. I thought you said a lizard.
A lizard. You're a lizard, Harry.
Wait, would a wizard count? Like, are we?
Yeah.
Oh, I was okay. So I was thinking like Greek mythology or something like that, like a centaur or something.
Yeah, it could be anything.
No, okay, fuck.
A centaur. That'd be cool.
A centaur would be really cool, or like a
Yeah.
minotaur. I would be. Screw it. I don't remember what they're called, but
Okay,
it's basically like a minotaur, except instead of half man, half horse, it's a half man, half elephant, and the top half of me would be an elephant, and the bottom half of me would be a person.
Damn.
Yeah, it'd be dope as fuck. I'd be an elephant, and I'd just be cool because elephants are sweet, man.
Imagine you're in bed with a girl and she's like, "Is that your dick or your trunk?"
It's my trunk, baby girl.
Double please.
No, yeah.
Double
I could like
penetration.
I could like wrap it around her. Dude,
Oh,
she'd be
yeah.
into that. At first, she'd be like, she wouldn't be sure, but once we like 30 seconds in, she'd be like, "Oh, I'm down for this." She'd be happy.
You'd be like, "Bring peanuts, baby." I'm horny.
Yes, sir.
That's pretty cool. I had to look up a picture of those.
Yeah, now I hate the one thing that I don't like about. Well, like they were in God of War Judgment. It's, the most underrated God of War game. The game's amazing. They were in God of War Judgment, and when you do
Gears of War?
like no God of War.
Oh,
when
okay.
when you do, yeah, both gals had a. Oh no, it wasn't called It wasn't called God of War Judgment. I'm sorry, it's called God of War Ascension.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was in God of War Ascension, and in the old God of War games, actually they do it in the new one too. But like when you get the enemies down to like a certain amount of health, you can like click the right stick or circle or whatever to do like a finishing move. And I always felt so bad doing the finishing move on the elephant creatures because they would like how they would do their little elephant noise, and like it would be like such a realistic sounding like cry for help, and I always felt so bad doing it, and it was just so fucking brutal. But
Dude.
okay.
I'm about to Photoshop your face on one of those creatures for the thumbnail, if I can.
Do that.
That'd be sick.
Ooh.
No, we're gonna do it. All right. My favorite mythical creature, or one of the ones that I would pick. You picked a really specific good one. Mine was super basic, but I still think it would be bad fucking ass.
Okay.
Is I would want to be a fire-breathing dragon.
Oh, of course. I see. I didn't think of a dragon.
Yes.
Dude.
Like a
Hell
Game
yeah.
of Thrones, like doesn't even have to be that type, but like any type of like just badass, like just flapping my wings. I'm as big as like a city.
That would be sick.
Oh man.
You have
just
a whole layer
lighting
with
shit
like
on
tons
fire.
of gold in it.
Yeah, just lighting shit on fire. Like I wouldn't like I could easily just make s'mores for everyone if I wanted to. Like
Make s'mores.
I could like cook. I can make like a filet mignon or just whatever. I could light shit on fire. I could just be a dragon. And the best thing. Well, all right. I don't know what would be the best part. Breathing fire would be. It's probably top 2. But just being able to fly.
Yeah, that's got to be number
Like,
1 best part.
Yeah, dude. If I could be any animal, like I would want to be something with wings. I think because flying would be such an like adrenaline filled like thing you'd do.
Yeah. Ooh, I might want to change my answer to be a phoenix.
Ooh.
Because phoenixes, like they like rise from the ashes. They can fly. Sometimes they have like fire powers.
Mm-hmm.
That might be my answer actually.
Is that like a dragon, but like just a tweak?
No.
What's the difference?
Phoenixes are more like birds.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, true. It's just like the firebird for Pokemon.
Yeah, like Moltres
Kind
is
of.
like
Yeah.
A dragon could probably whoop a phoenix's ass. Like, so I wouldn't say that. I think
Damn
just
right.
one up you with thinking of the phoenix. But then the phoenix would just be reborn from its own ashes, which would be pretty
Dude.
cool.
I need to take a clip out of this pod and have me acting like a dragon and breathing fire.
Dude, yeah. If only if our video editing skills, we could just like I would just put that in the episode, but I would have no idea how to do that.
I'm acting like I'm a dragon right now.
I'll just take a picture of fire and like put it on your mouth and then just have it move. Just have it move on screen.
Please.
Oh man, that would look so funny. It'd be the worst editing job ever. Okay. We'll clip it. It'll be the tweeted out clip.
I want to tweet it out. I'm down. All right. And where can we find you? Oh wait, that's for the guests.
You can find me at twitter.com/stadiumbeats. You can find me at twitch.tv/stadiumbeats. You can find me on Spotify, Chillin For Our Lives. You can find me on Apple Podcasts, Chillin For Our Lives. You can find it. All right. You can.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you on as a guest.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to be here. I appreciate it.
We just interview each other every week.
Yeah.
Like next week you interview me. They're like, dude, we've heard, like, we know everything about him.
Everything.
We're done with his ass. All right. I think that was everything.
I believe so.
Whew. All right.
We should thank our listeners at least.
Yes.
Because
We'll
without
definitely
them,
do that.
nothing is possible.
Thank you guys for supporting us. We're on episode 16. This will be 16. So we've been doing it for 4 months. I think that makes it.
Yep.
4 months and like 40 billion to go. So
maybe
if we can do it.
40 billion is a lot. I don't know if the Earth will be around in 40 billion months.
We're gonna be like a floating head in a fishbowl, just like podding.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. You don't need to go anywhere to pod.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, just take my head, put it in the fishbowl, roll it up to my computer, and we're good to go.
Yep. Just fill my fish tank with like Rockstar Zero.
Rockstar. No, you can do the you can do the sugar. Oh no, you like the sugar-free one better.
I like sugar-free. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say because if you don't have a body, then you don't have to worry about the sugar like going to your gut.
Dude, imagine the sugar, what it would do to your face though if it's just
it would all
soaked
go to your
in
face.
It. Oh, the acne you would have from that?
Dude, you wouldn't have teeth after like a day.
There's no way.
I mean, the acid and the acid and the sugar-free one would probably do a number on you too.
Just your eyes, dude. Imagine that.
Opening your eyes in a pool of Rockstar.
You just like you go to say something and like a bunch of bubbles come out and you just inhale just a gallon.
It tastes good at least.
Yeah. This episode got real dark real fast.
As the good ones always do.
Rockstar for Our Lives. What would be I don't know. We got to think of a good episode title for this one.
I have no idea, but you guys already know that if you're listening to this. So we clearly thought of one eventually.
All right. That wraps it up. We had Stally. Hope you guys enjoyed. We talked about dragons. We talked about elephant people. Thank you guys for listening, supporting. Anyone who does a 5-star review, we're going to start shouting you guys out.
Yeah,
so
we have to.
If you guys do that, go on Apple Podcasts, iTunes, wherever you find us on there. Rate us 5 stars, rate why, and write your name, who you are, because sometimes the username might be a number or like some other account. So put your name in the message of what we know you by, and we'll check them weekly, and then we'll shout you out at the beginning of the episode or the end, whenever. And
we'll love you forever.
Yeah, and then all the retweets, the shares on social media, subscribing to the YouTube channel, all that stuff, listening, audio platforms, any way you can interact with us, ask us questions, all that stuff. We're gonna keep saying it literally until the end of time.
Yep. So we could put an X on it somewhere, but
yeah,
maybe not.
We'll see.
If we hit 500 million subscribers, I don't think we would have to shill out anymore at that point. I don't think.
Yeah. 500 mil, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to be the hard line, but that's definitely a line it could be.
All right.
500 mil, that's the goal.
You heard him there. Time to make duplicate accounts.
Nope. We good. Right. We'll get there. Tell your friends.
All right. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your goldfish about Chillin For Our Lives. This was episode 16. We'll see you on 17. Have a great week, fam. We love you guys. We're out.